Welcome to Perth, Australia for the grand finale of the ITU Triathlon season and the 9th World Championship to be contested with the Olympic programme's newest and most exciting sport. Australia has become the sport's spiritual home, and in the women's race, local support is divided between the country's three past world champions, Kelly Jones and Jackie Gallagher, and perhaps the world's foremost triathlete on current form, Emma Carney. There's just as much domestic anticipation in the men's event. Aussies face tough opposition from the likes of Hamish Carter of New Zealand and defending world champion Simon Lessing. The Australian team is strong, with the likes of Welch, Bevan and ITU Tour leader Chris McCormack looking to draw inspiration from the huge local crowd. It'll be in Sydney that triathlon makes its Olympic debut, and now the 1997 Worlds have taken on an extra significance as the countdown to 2000 truly begins.
This is another fantasy, you know, to win a world championship in your own country, and then that'd be the biggest stepping stone towards the Olympic Games, you know, because that's in our country as well. So I think it'd be good to gauge off this race, you know, for the Olympic Games. That'd be nice.
This has been a big summer of sport for Western Australia. The triathlon event is just one of 10 world championships taking place in the city this year. The course is a tough one, set against the striking city backdrop. It's a spectacular, spectator-friendly test of the athletes' all-round abilities over the 3 stages of the Olympic distance triathlon. Start with 2 laps of swimming in the Swan River, followed by a testing 5-lap bike course right through the centre of Perth. The final 10-kilometre run takes us back down to the shoreline, with temperatures soaring into the 80s. It will be a gruelling finale to this year's World Championships. We can also confirm that the atmosphere at the start really is electric. The women to watch out for and their cap colour codes: Emma Carney goes in the fluo green, Jackie Gallagher, the defending champion, and Michaela Jones in unseeded light blue caps, Molnar in the yellow, and Bob Lindquist in the pink. Just a few moments away from the start of the 9th ITU World Championship competition from Perth, Western Australia. This is a big day for Emma Carney on your screen just there. She's already claimed the World Cup title. Now she's out there going for the World Championship number 1 placing. Catherine Davis, the world number 3. Rejoins in the commentary box. Catherine, you've been down there with the athletes. What's the atmosphere like, and what's going through their minds right now?
Well, I know for Emma Carney particularly, this is really the big race. This is the big one. You don't get any second chances at the World Championship. And I tell you, I'm watching it. I'm almost as nervous as when I was racing. It really is a big day for them. They know that every moment counts here. They don't want to get to the finish line and know that they could have given a little bit more. So the pressure's on. Everyone's prepared to give it their utmost. And you can see they're just going for it now.
Well, the race is well and truly away. There are 67 competitors all looking to get clear water. There's a lot of bumping and bashing going on in there. And this is where the swim specialists really do look to make their move, to draw clear. Not only setting the pace, but getting the clearer waters ahead. And it looks to be the early leader, as we've seen many a times on the tour, for the United States of America, Bob Lindquist, one of the fastest swimmers on the triathlon tour for many a year. Bob, who has a personal best of 16:30, which actually equals the men's world champion Simon Lessing's personal best in the 1500-metre swim section. Lindquist blazes the trail, as we've become familiar with on the tour. Loretta Harrop is just behind her, and Rena Hill holds on to 3rd position. But already, Catherine, we see Emma Carney off the pace in the early stages of today's event.
That's right, and that really is the key to the race here. There's a lot of things going on. Barb and Loretta know that if they want to have a chance at the podium like they did in the last race in Sydney, they have to get ahead. They need about a 2-minute buffer to be able to hold off Emma Carney for the win. I know they were talking to Michaela Jones before the race. She's a good swimmer. If she can stay with them and put some distance on Emma Carney, then Emma's going to be in trouble. The key for Emma's race then is really to stay in touch, or stay as close as she can to these swim leaders.
We see Bob Lindquist in exactly the same position as she was in the World Championships a year ago. In her first year in the sport, she has emerged as America's top female triathlete. It's in the opening swim section where the American needs to make her mark.
An ideal situation would be I'd get out of the water with a comfy 15 to 20 seconds lead over everyone, just in case something happened in the transition area, or I couldn't get my feet into my shoes, or whatever, just a nice little cushion. And then when I got on the bike, I could kind of wait for those people, or just kind of ride kind of easily, and waiting for the other swimmers to catch up.
action, reaching the closing stages of lap
We're gonna go the
1,
other
and
side of
Bob
that boy
Lindquist
back
of the
there too,
United
mate.
States of America still blazes the trail ahead of Loretta Harrop, and Rena Hill from Australia is in third position. It's one of the most precarious parts of the swim section, Catherine. It's not easy here at all, is it?
First of all, it's a very technical course. You see there's a lot of sharp turns, and you have to know where to go around the marker or the bridge here so that you don't take too wide a turn, you don't do more distance than the others. And also it's very shallow, but there have been some concerns about the debris on the bottom of the river. And so although they could be walking and perhaps doing that dolphin kick that we've seen before to get a bit of distance, they don't really want to walk on the riverbed to avoid cutting their feet. So they are swimming in very shallow water, which is difficult as well.
Formation of the first lap times 8:57, which is good news for Lindquist, but Emma Carney still has work to do. We've seen her throughout the ITU World Cup Tour struggle in the swim sections, but this in the most important race for her of the year, she must try not to let herself get too far down, particularly on Lindquist and Loretta Harrop, who will have learned a great deal from their experiences in Sydney not too long ago. As Lindquist powered ahead, the race within a race saw Michaeli Jones slip a minute behind the American, while Carney was fighting hard to stay in touch another 20 seconds further down the field. Back to the action, and almost 19 minutes into this World Championship competition, and it looks to be Loretta Harrop who will skip out of the water just ahead of Bob Lindquist, who's led throughout this 1,500-metre swim section. Just behind them is Rena Hill for Australia. Harrop, the more determined to get into transition first. There, the triathletes will set out on their 40-kilometre bike section. Here comes Rena Hill, a little further down perhaps than she would have liked, but looking to improve on that fourth position, the placing she acquired in the last World Championships in Cleveland. Sharon Donnelly will be out of the water in fourth place, but we're getting feedback into common position. Michaeli Jones is over a minute off the pace, which really is a disaster for the former world champion, Catherine.
It is indeed, Nick. There she is right now. She's just taken her goggles off, and a minute behind that is a disaster for Michaeli. She actually swam with Barbara Lindquist in Cancun. She's capable of swimming better than that, so not a good start in the race.
Too good a start either for the defending world champion. Jackie Gallagher finds herself a fair way down, and there we finally see the fluoro-green cap of Emma Carney. We estimate that she's around about 140 off the pace, which leaves an awful lot of work for Emma Carney to do. She's to repeat the World Cup success of Sydney 2 weeks ago and claim that title that she last won in 1994. Rena Hill exit transition there. Already Loretta Harrop and Bob Lindquist are away. There's Sharon Donnelly. Now we see the Australian taking up the pace early on in the 40-kilometre bike section. Lindquist for the United States is just behind her. We were anticipating that these two riders would be with Michaeli Jones, who has planned and was thought to have been one of the top swimmers. And here we pick up Jones. She's finished 7th in the swim section. She's over a minute off the pace, and this could be the first upset of these World Championships.
Michaeli should still be able to lessen the damage of that poor swim by her standards. She's got 35 seconds on Emma Carney, as we've estimated there. There's some strong cyclists around her. Jennifer Gutierrez of the States is known for her cycling skills. So she needs to get ahead right now, get into a second pack behind the leaders, and put some distance on Emma Carney if she wants to have a chance.
This isn't helping Michaeli Jones's tactic at all. Confusion in the transition. She really was unsure where her bike was, and she's allowed Jackie Gallagher, last year's world champion, to catch right up to her. Here we see Emma Carney finally out of the water, finally into transition, and she knows she'll have a great deal of work to do. But fortunately for Carney, Michaeli Jones and Jackie Gallagher have not had the quickest of transitions. There you see 21.08 for the swim, but 1:41 behind Harrop and Bob Lindquist, who are well on their way. It's opening the bike section. This is a situation that Carney has been in many times before on the World Cup circuit. He will look to close the gap down on these two riders, who will now question whether they have the strength and pace to stay ahead of the rest of the field. Let's take a look at the swim results. Confirmation that Loretta Harrop was the quicker out of the water. 19:27, just 4 seconds behind Bob Lindquist. Rena Hill, Sharon Donnelly, and the best of the Europeans, Magali Messmer, in 5th. said before, this might be a city centre course, but it's still a tough one. The 500-metre climb will be taken in 5 times, making it much more difficult for the weaker cyclists to sit in the pack and wait for the run.
It's definitely a different style of racing than when I raced in 1993, which was the last time I raced. Drafting now makes it a different sport almost, because it does come down to the running. But this course, you know, it's got a little bit of a hill, so it's going to get rid of a few people that you don't want around. And, you know, I'm looking forward to it. You know, I've worked pretty hard on it all year, and I knew that this was going to be, you know, my finale for the season. So I'm looking forward to it.
2-times world champion Michaela Jones was in good company in the chase pack, with 2 other world champions tucked in beside her. Meanwhile, race leaders Barbara Lindquist and Loretta Harrop were battling to maintain their lead. As they approached lap 3, they were still ahead. The chase pack picked up the tempo. Australian Rena Hill was finding the pace too much. We rejoin the action in lap 3. This is the chase group certainly closing down the gap. Just over halfway through this bike section, averaging a speed of around about 37.8 kilometres per hour, which is certainly quicker than the 2 leaders, Barb Lindquist and Loretta Harrop, who have clocked an average time of 37.1 kilometres per hour. If the chase group can maintain that tempo, they'll be heading for the fastest lap of the competition so far, which is bad news for both Lindquist and Harrop. This is chase group 3. Including Erica Molnar and Kim Carter. They're over 2 minutes behind, averaging around about 36.8 kilometres per hour. Clearly, the large size of this group is making it difficult to find the speed and the all-important manoeuvrability. Lindquist and Harrop round the bend once again, working as best they can as just a group of 2. But it's a familiar story, Catherine. The chase pack with the favourites in it, looking to close down the swim specialists.
It is indeed. These 2 are very good cyclists, but Emma Carney is in a league of her own. It looks like she's going to bridge the gap again like she did in Sydney, but she's dragging a pack of 7 other athletes with her, and that is very bad news for these 2.
Bad news indeed, as Loretta Harrop and Barb Lindquist now are receiving information from coaches, friends and family on the side and within the crowd of the course here, that it's only a matter of seconds. Some 37 seconds has been closed down by that chase group, which has been headed up by Emma Carney, really starting to make her challenge for the world title, and it is just a matter of time. Carney is amongst them, also Michaela Jones, Jackie Gallagher is also there. So the 3 world champions of yesteryear are closing down the gap, and it will literally be a matter of meters, a matter of seconds, before they start to get sight of Lindquist and Harrop. Back to the action in the closing stages of lap 4 and 5 to be contested in this cycle section. And now the chase group, as expected, are catching up the early leaders of Barbara Lindquist and Loretta Harrop. That now does tell us that the race is wide open once again. In that chase group that are now joining the 2 early leaders are Jackie Gallagher, Michaela Jones and Emma Carney, 3 former world champions, all looking for top honours here. Catherine, this really could be anybody's right now.
That's right. The big unknown is, has Emma Carney burned her legs out? She's led the whole race. There's been none of the usual peloton rotation there in the chase pack, which is now the lead pack as they join the 2 leaders. All 3 of the top Australians there are capable of going under 34 minutes. And don't forget, we've got Marie Overby, former world junior champion, Isabelle Mouton. They're both capable of running very quickly. And Nancy Kemper from Luxembourg was a European Cup winner. So we also have some very strong competition for the Australians there.
A real crucial point there, Catherine, because Emma Carney's clearly worked the hardest of all of of these group riders. It's as if they've just all tucked in behind Carney, knowing that she would look to challenge the lead anyway. Has she burned out the legs? Is Michaela Jones playing a tactical game and just sitting with the World Cup winner? And of course, the defending champion, Jackie Gallagher, is right in there as well. One thing that we can confirm in this fifth lap, it is now one big group with 3 world champions and some of the rising stars of the junior ranks all going into this 10-kilometre run on even Stevens. But this is the chase group with Merita Tegi, Hill, Mika Soos, all former winners or podium place performers on the ITU Tour, and they will also be looking for a quick transition, which could be the name of the game going into this final section.
You mentioned 2 top names in that group. Virginia Barasategi, remember, she was 3rd in the long-distance Triathlon World Championships earlier this year and 3rd in the Duathlon World Championships. A very strong runner. Mika Soos won the race in Embrun, so we have very strong people after a hilly bike course. I think there's someone to watch out for. They could make up the difference. There's about a 1-minute difference there off the lead path, so I'd expect to see a few of them at least vying for some top 10 positions.
Michaela Jones now takes the lead for Australia. The former world champion also looking strong. One of Emma Carney's closest rivals will be Australia's Michaela Jones, vying to become the first ever female triathlete to win 3 world championship titles.
The thing about winning a world championship, no one can take it away from you, and I've won too, so, you know, it's a fantastic feeling, and to be in Australia and in front of my home country, you know, it would be awesome. And I'm sort of the underdog at the moment, so it's like, oh, that's fine by me. You know, I just want to go out there and have a great race, and if I do that, I'm going to have a great performance.
The leaders come into the transition area for the last time, and Mouton and Michaela Jones clash. And Michaela Jones has stepped onto the bike, trapping her foot in the wheel, it looks like, from this angle in the commentary position. And you can see Michaela Jones clearly limping. She'd made her mark, she'd gone to the front of the pack, was looking for the quick transition, and she's in all kinds of trouble. It allows Bob Lindquist to regain the lead and to be the first into the transition area once again. The big guns are tucked in right behind her, but Michaela Jones, who had trouble in the first transition, now finds herself struggling in the second. Lindquist will be the leader after the swim and bike sections. We'll now calculate just how much time Michaela Jones has lost in comparison to Carney and Jackie Gallagher. It will be an essential transition for many of these top performers. A 10-kilometre run remains, but this is a repeat of the Cleveland World Championships for Bob Lindquist, first out of transition. Emma Carney, the quartet of Australians keep this huge crowd alive. They'll be cheering them all the way through this final 10-kilometre run section, and one has to say that the former world champions are poised for a repeat victory here.
It is so important to get ahead out of that transition, get ahead of your rivals. It's a real psychological advantage to be out there on the course first. This is the one race of the year where the athletes are prepared to lay it all on the line. They're really passing through the pain barrier, and any second they can gain is to their advantage.
Gained here as Emma Carney starts to reel in Bob Lindquist. Lindquist, one of the strongest swimmers and cyclists, but this is her weaker discipline of the 3. And Emma Carney is already pushing hard, looking to set the pace alive in this final 10-kilometre. She can sense that there's a potential world championship title within her grasp here, and the first person to conquer will be the American Bob Lindquist. Carney strides out, settles into that fluid running pattern nice and early. Michaela Jones has gone with her, tucked in right behind. Also, Jackie Gallagher is in the chase. Marie Overby of Denmark looking for 4th position. But we can confirm that Bob Lindquist does not have the turn of foot, the speed in the run section, and it's a trio of Australians that take 1, 2 and 3 looking for World Championship glory. The first of the chase pack starts to come into transition. The first of those, Gail Lawrence for the United States of America. Merita Tegi, Rita Hill, Mika Soos amongst these competitors. They must sense now that their chances of a World Championship podium placing have slipped by. Nikki Andronicus leads them into the 10-kilometre run section. Carney takes up the lead with Michaela Jones tucked in right behind her, and the defending champion Jackie Gallagher looking strong. Confirmation of the results of the bike leg. Bob Lindquist holding on to first position at this point. Harrop was second, Mouton going well third, Kemp Arendt fourth, and Emma Carney 5th position. But now in the lead, Emma Carney 1:03.20 for the 40-kilometre bike, and her best time for the 10-kilometre run of 33.14 is some 26 seconds quicker than her closest rival, Michaela Jones. live action, and Emma Carney now has recorded 3 minutes just over for the first 1 kilometre, an indication that they are really flying. You may be a little surprised to see Jackie Gallagher, who's only competed in 2 World Cup competitions so far this season, right in there with Carney and Michaeli Jones. Catherine Gallagher is looking as strong as ever.
She's been known as the one who peaks for the big races. She certainly did last year, coming in as not perhaps the favourite for the World Championships and taking the crown. This summer she's raced mostly in the United States. She hasn't had any really good results, but she's obviously prepared for this race. Now the 3 of them together racing there, I expect we're going to see some world record times in the triathlon. They may even be close to breaking their personal best for the 10K run.
Maggie Messman for Switzerland holds on to 7th position. Just ahead of her is Loretta Harrop, also for Australia. The Australians in front of an ecstatic home crowd, really looking to secure the medals here. At the 2 kilometre mark, it looks like Emma Carney and Jackie Gallagher have pulled away from Michaeli Jones. Former world champion is struggling, and if you look carefully at the right foot, it is red. It looks to be red with blood, where she trapped her foot in the bike wheel of Isabelle Mouton in the transition area, and that seems to have seen off in Michaeli Jones's chances of world championship
when you're
gold
ready
here in Perth.
You can see that she's leaning slightly to the left. She's probably overcompensating for the pain that she feels in her right foot. And it looks like Marie Overby and Isabelle Mouton are running in 4th and 5th, so she'll have to make sure that she can overcome that pain in her foot to carry on with the podium position.
Erika Molnar, who's won 2 World Cups on the tour this season, struggling. She's pushing as best she can. This is her most favoured discipline of the 3, but like many of the triathletes behind her, she's left herself far too much work with a poor swim and cycle section. The Hungarian #1 will be out of the medals. Confirmation that Isabelle Mouton is in 4th position, some 32 seconds off the pace, and the talented junior from Denmark, Maria Overby, who's won a string of junior world titles, is looking to make her mark amongst the senior ranks. The world champion of 94 is up against the world champion of 96. Emma Carney and Jackie Gallagher battling it out stride for stride. We can confirm that Michaeli Jones is struggling to keep up with this pace. The question is, which one will go first, or will they take it all the way to the line? Carney desperate to make amends for a poor performance over the past 2 years. Gallagher looking to defend the title. Carney and Gallagher race shoulder to shoulder through the first half, completing 5 kilometres in 60 minutes 22 seconds. The real test of Carney's composure after that setback in Cleveland last year.
From the last couple of years, coming to the World Championships, being the hot favourite and not winning has made me sort of change a lot of things this year and learn a lot. So hopefully I've put those mistakes to good use.
Further behind Carney, Michaeli Jones' foot injury was getting worse as her challenge for a 3rd world title had come to a bloody end. 1 kilometre of running remains, and we're still no clearer to who will be the world champion of 1997. Shoulder to shoulder, pacing it out against each other. Emma Carney on the far left, Jackie Gallagher on the right of your screen. They both tried to pull away, and both have responded with more speed, more determination, and more power. Perhaps this will be the saddest picture of these World Championships. Michaeli Jones, foot bleeding and continuing to do so, is out of the chase and able to find the speed and determination that these 2 Australians are demonstrating. Once again, Emma Carney tries to pull away, and Jackie Gallagher, for the first time, finds it difficult to respond. This could be the world title for Carney. Gallagher must really dig in deep now.
They're accomplished track runners, and they know that to test each other, they have to try and surge. It looks like Emma's surge this time has worked. Jackie hasn't been able to claw back the distance. This may be the key to Emma's victory.
This could be a sweet revenge for Emma Carney, who was denied the title a year ago in Cleveland, USA. But Carney continues to dig in. She looks to have timed her run for home with absolute perfection, because for the first time Gallagher cannot answer. Further down the field, battling it out for 4th and 5th position is Isabelle Mouton of France and Maria Overby of Denmark. They will be looking to close down Michaeli Jones, who struggles to hold on for 3rd, but Carney is pushing clear. Gallagher can now no longer respond. The Australians are winning her on. She will claim the World and the World Cup title for 1997. And for the first time in its competition, Carney senses that the title is hers. She salutes the crowd. Her first World Championship victory in 94 and her second in 1997. In front of a jubilant crowd, some 80,000 supporters have wheeled her around swim, bike, and now final run sections. And the 1997 ITU World Champion is Emma Carney. An emphatic victory of sheer brilliance, the timing, absolute perfection.
This is a great moment for Emma Carney. She's really lived with the defeats of the last 2 years. And to win in front of a home crowd here in Perth in a world-class time on, though, under 2 hours. She could hardly have hoped for more.
Jackie Gallagher will be delighted with her silver medal. She's had a tough season by all accounts, unable to defend her title, but over the past 3 World Championships has taken 2 silvers and a gold last year. She hands over the world title to Emma Carney, congratulates her compatriot. She did not have the speed. Bravest performance of these World Championships, surely Michaeli Jones. 3 stitches required in the foot, but a very pleasing bronze medal for the double world champion of 92 and 93. A sprint finish, and the world junior champion of 95, Maria Overbike, gets the better of Isabelle Mouton, Denmark 4th, France 5th. Confirmation of the Women's World Championship results of 1997, Emma Carney taking top honours, Jackie Gallagher the silver, Michaeli Jones the bronze.
All right, Emma, you've got your title back. How do you feel?
Oh, it's unreal. I couldn't be happier. There's nothing more I could want. It's unreal.